The directive was clear. No transmissions to Earth. No appeals to human forces. No mention of humanity in any official capacity. The Galactic Assembly had voted unanimously. When the Virex swarm emerged from the dark between arms, an extragalactic hive species consuming everything in its path, the Assembly reacted with what it believed was wisdom: containment, information control, panic prevention, and above all, no humans. Humanity had a reputation the Assembly found destabilizing. Where others negotiated, humans intervened. Where others measured risk, humans calculated responsibility. Worse still, when humans committed to a cause, they rarely stopped at acceptable losses. The Assembly feared escalation more than extinction. So when border systems fell and entire fleets vanished in silence, the Assembly issued a classified decree. All member species are forbidden from requesting aid from Earth or its allied territories. The reason was not military. It was political. If humans entered the conflict, they would not ask permission to leave it unfinished. What the Assembly did not know, what it could not know, was that humanity was already moving. Weeks earlier, before the first Assembly debate concluded, human deep space listening arrays had detected something wrong. Not distress signals, those came later, but absence. Trade routes that went quiet too fast. Automated probes that failed to return in patterns no natural phenomenon produced. Human analysts noticed. They always did. At Earth's Strategic Response Command, a projection rotated slowly above the table, entire star systems dimming one by one. This isn't expansion, a human tactician said quietly. It's consumption. No vote was held. No authorization requested. Fleet Command issued a single operational phrase: humanitarian response, silent advance. The first human ships departed without announcement. They did not broadcast. They did not transpond. They did not announce presence. They followed the trail of absence. Meanwhile, the Assembly continued its policy of denial. When the Tal Ares Union lost 3 colonies in 12 hours, their ambassador pleaded for an exception. Earth could help us, she said, voice shaking. They faced extinction-level threat before. The speaker responded coldly, and survived by nearly breaking the galaxy in the process. The exception was denied. What the Assembly did not realize was that the humans were already between the Virex and Tal Ares space. The first human encounter with the swarm was not a battle. It was a test. A single human cruiser allowed itself to be detected. Virex bioships converged immediately, adaptive weapons blooming like living storms. The cruiser did not fire. It recorded every frequency, every response curve, every biological adaptation. Then it vanished, micro-jumping not away, but through the swarm formation, leaving behind something the Virex had never encountered. A signal. The swarm followed it, straight into a human kill zone. What followed was not a clash of fleets, but a dissection. Human ships did not attempt to overwhelm the swarm. They isolated nodes, severed coordination, targeted replication cores, deployed counter-evolution algorithms faster than the swarm could adapt. For the first time in its recorded existence, the Virex hesitated. That hesitation cost it 3 tendrils. Still, humanity did not announce itself. The Assembly only learned the truth when entire swarm fronts collapsed overnight. Systems marked as lost return communications, shattered, scarred, but alive. Confusion spread. Who intervened? The speaker demanded. No one answered. Then a forbidden transmission leaked into Assembly space. A civilian distress channel, open, raw, uncontrolled. A Tal Ares refugee ship, broadcasting in disbelief. We didn't call them. They just arrived. Human ships, everywhere. They told us to power down weapons and stay behind them. Panic erupted. The speaker issued an emergency communique to Earth. This Assembly did not authorize your involvement. It read, "You are ordered to disengage." Earth responded 12 minutes later. The transmission was brief. "We were not asked. We did not seek authorization. We are preventing extinction." The Assembly threatened sanctions. Human fleets continued advancing. As more data emerged, it became clear that humanity had committed fully. Not just fleets, but infrastructure. Mobile shipyards followed behind combat formations. Medical arcs treated alien civilians without question. Evacuation corridors were defended as fiercely as human worlds. A junior assembly analyst finally voiced the truth no one wanted to hear. "They are not reacting," she said quietly. "They planned for this." Indeed, humans had. Long before the virus appeared, Earth had modeled extragalactic threats. Not because the galaxy asked them to, but because someone had to. The final confrontation occurred at the Black Reach, where the swarm's primary mass converged. The Assembly watched helplessly as human fleets formed a layered formation unlike anything in known doctrine. No heroic charge. No dramatic last stand. Just inevitability. The Virex attacked. And for the first time in its existence, the swarm was contained. Then pushed back. Then dismantled. The swarm did not die screaming. It died confused. When the last Virex mass collapsed into inert biological matter, the galaxy exhaled. The Assembly reconvened in emergency session. The Speaker addressed Earth carefully now. "You violated our directive," he said. "You risk galactic stability." Earth's representative replied calmly. "You forbade asking us for help," she said. "That does not forbid us from helping." Silence followed. "We do not require consensus to prevent annihilation," she continued. "We require only awareness and the will to act." No sanctions were issued. None could be enforced. In the years that followed, a quiet rule emerged across the galaxy. You could forbid humans. You could exclude them. You could pretend they were unnecessary. But when extinction loomed, humanity would already be en route, and the galaxy would survive, whether it approved or not.